Let's dive into building the project in Deltaplan. I start by creating the first 3 steps of the project. I can drag the tasks freely over the canvas and the system snaps them to each other if magnetic feature is on. I define the duration and the name of the tasks by placing them on the canvas. I notice that with the current style, the name of the task interferes with the final date, so I put the date outside the bar for all the bars. I create the group for my project Kickstart tasks so that it allows me to estimate and present the phases of the project more clearly. Deltaplan allows me to switch between swim lane and bar style of the groups. I opted for the bar style as it highlights the gaps between tasks. I notice the gap and correct the timing so that the workload is uninterrupted. I continue to create the tasks for the next phase. It will be a development phase, so I choose the different bar style. I put front-end and back-end development bars onto one line. This will help me to visualize the costs of a development when I'm going to present it. I could do differently, of course, it's just my decision for this case. I add the names of the stages for the technical tasks. Then I create the software development group for my tasks and make sure there are no gaps. In Deltaplan, you can change the style so that all the styled bars are affected or modify the instance for specific cases. I select the 3 bars and assign a project manager to all of them. I can add multiple specialists to a bar, and I do so by adding a UX designer to the design section. I want to add the analyst to the estimations phase, but he is missing in the list of the resources. So I add the analyst here and define his daily rate. I also allocate only 50% of him to this task. At this stage, it becomes difficult to remember what resources I've allocated to the tasks, so I change the layout by adding the column that shows me the cost of each task and group. I immediately see that I forgot to assign the technical team, so I do it. Sometimes it's useful to show the assigned resource as a label to the task. You already know how to do it in Deltaplan. I continue to work on the plan by adding the marketing task. I choose a different style for the marketing bars. Now I see that the development tasks are in the wrong place, so I have to move them past the estimations. I select them all and use the keyboard to move all the tasks. It's too slow for my case, so I use Shift to speed it up. I move the marketing task with the mouse using the snapping feature to find a right place. I also change its style to make all the numbers visible. Now it's almost done, and I know that I will be asked at the presentation, what's the team allocation cost over time? So I need to prepare this information. I add the bottom tier and select the cost to be visualized. This will help me to show the cost for each quarter or month if I prefer. Notice something strange? The second quarter has 0 cost, although there is a marketing task there. I forgot to add the resource to this task, so I do it. Now it's time to export. The common way to communicate the project plan is the PowerPoint, so I export the plan into PPT. I know from experience that sometimes the stakeholder do not want to dig into the details. They just need the executive overview with key project features. So I collapse the groups and export the slide again. Now I have 2 versions for different cases. I just inserted the overview version into my slide. It is an executive summary. I show the main streams, their duration and cost. I change the exported slide so that it matches my presentation layout. It's fully editable. I also have a detailed plan with the work breakdown. If the stakeholders meeting ends up with any change suggestions, I'm ready to implement them. I will come back to Deltaplan, make all the changes there, and re-export the slides so that it takes seconds.